Whether I'm right, whether I'm wrong, I need to find a place where maybe I belong. I've gotta be me. Well, that's right, boys and girls. I can only ever be me. And some will like it, some won't. But I've got my coffee. It's Saturday morning, so it must be coffee with Scruff. Let's have a slurp. So, what's this week been like? In all honesty, living hell. But we're not going to dwell on that too much. Had a little bit of a rant the other day. Hadn't had a scruffy rant for ages. But I must be mellowing, because normally I would really be looking to tear somebody's head off. And in a former life, I probably would have done.
Who'd be stupid enough to do that?
Justify, stupid.
I think as you get older, you get more mellow. And certain things, what you would put up with, you kind of just think, do you know what? Can't be chewed. What I'll do is I'll just push it to one side and forget it ever existed.
You know, you're a classic example of the inverse ratio between the size of the mouth and the size of the brain.
Now you'll be sitting there thinking, hold on, I thought this was a trading channel. What's he talking about life philosophy for? Because life philosophy is what makes or breaks you as a trader. If you get angry and upset and various other bits and pieces, you might fall into what's called revenge trading. Now, revenge trading is where you probably weren't in the right frame of mind to start with. Could be any reason. Just not feeling very well, very tired, had an argument with somebody, or someone's just basically pissing you off.
Who is he? He's an asshole, sir.
And then when you go to the chart, you're looking for some form of solace. And that solace is that you're on your own, you're in control of what's going on. But the chart has other ideas. And basically, you've talked yourself into a trade that you should never have done. And you lose. Now that anger that you already had, or the frustration when you were coming into market, will manifest itself in you're going to lash out at it. Now, what happens at this point, you're already off kilter. So the chart will take some more off you. And eventually it'll blow your account out. I see this on a regular basis, over and over. And it's probably one of the reasons why I get a lot of flack. Now, the way I'm dealing with flack at the moment is very simple. If somebody's been a bit of a knob, and I was going to do like comment of the week, knobhead of the week, you know, like name and shame some people. But I don't think I have to. Because when people have read the comments and had some lovely emails following some of the bloody morons that do go, which makes a change. Little salute to Mike. For once in my life, somebody gave me a piece of kindness. It doesn't happen very often, but he did. And I'll return it tenfold, or at least I will if I can. Because it shows me that the world isn't horrible.
Are you sure?
But what it also shows me is the good should outweigh the bad. Now, your chart should be the same. Your good should outweigh the bad. Now, if you've got a bad trade, it's a bad trade. Just get rid of it. And that's what I'm doing. So if somebody's been a bit of a dick, I can spot them a mile off. You know, they start nitpicking what you do. You can normally see it in their username, and you'll certainly see it in whatever the little icon is that they use, because they're always like stupid. You know, if they've got sweary words or political slogans, chances are they're a moron. So just get rid of them. You know, and how do you do that? You go clickety click click, block, never speak to them again. Problem solved.
Sensitive.
You can do that with your charts. You can go clickety click click. I don't want to trade that asset again, because you might find the same asset canes you over and over. So what do? Trade assets that you like. Talk to people that you like. I was told a long time ago, you know, when I started business, you know, and took lots of advice from different people that were very good at what they do. And one of the best bits of advice that I ever was given, you know, and this goes all the way back to Alistair, and a little salute to you. He was one of the guys who actually taught me to do this. Well, there's a number of guys that I could name, but Alistair was a good guy, you know, and certainly a chap called Jeff Dutton. He's one of the best sales directors I ever worked under. He was a fantastic guy. And you pick little things up from these people. Like, case in point with Jeff. If ever anybody's been out for a night with me, and it's sort of like a school night, a work night, I often say something. Be boys tonight, but be men in the morning. And that came from Jeff, because he was like that. He was an Australian guy, and he could drink any of us under the table. He was ludicrously, he was a great guy. Anyway, cut long story short, we had a good night. We're all out of our tree. He's there. And that's what he said to us at the end of the night. And he was in that office before we were. Super guy. And then you got Alistair. Alistair used to always say, do business with who you like. And I never really thought about it, but as I've gone through life, I have. Because if you like somebody, you'll do the extra mile, and you'll certainly do the job correctly. If you don't like something, or you don't like someone, you do the least possible just to get away from it. So these little things sort of resonate with me through my life. And that's what makes me pretty good, because I am very patient. And I'm also pretty disciplined in what I do. That's my edge over you. Technically, I'm probably just as good as any of you. And you're probably as good as me. The difference is you're greedy, I'm not. I don't need material wealth. Why? I've had it, got it, and I don't care. All right? Money doesn't bring you happiness, but doesn't have help. So if you've got enough to pay your bills, well, you don't have to worry. And if you don't have to worry, you're not going to push the charts too hard. Is this making sense so far, guys? I know most people have switched off by now, which is fine, because this channel is never going to grow. I've come to that realization. And the one thing that I've also come to the realization is in public, and this is whether you're in the group or outside of the group, 90% of people are just in it for themselves, and they couldn't give a flying toss about anybody else.
Bring on the dancing girls. Get rid of this idiot. Fuck you. Off.
And it's only the 10% that will really care. Well, I'm only going to concentrate on the 10%. The rest of them can go do one. Why? Because they've already failed. If you're only in it for yourself, you'll look at it from a selfish point of view. And not only will you look at it from a selfish point of view, you will not understand what it is to take advice. So if that's the case, deal with who you like, ignore the rest.
I know, this is messed up. These guys, they're fucking idiots.
Simple process. Nice knowing you, but good luck on your journey. You're not coming with me. That's the way I'm going to be. Now, I do things for certain guys in the squad simply because they help me. They don't help me sort of financially or anything like that. If anything, it's the other way around. They help me by showing me that there is a light at the end of the tunnel, that what I'm doing is correct, trying to help somebody, because that's all I'm doing. It's what this channel was set up about. It was just to try and show you a different perspective, and you'll either like it or you don't. If you don't, go elsewhere. There's plenty of people out there will love to see you watch their videos and talk to you with absolute bollocks.
Out of the frying pan.
And into the fire.
Why? Because they'll never show you what I'm about to, which is a real bank account. That's the difference. All right? And why do I show you a real bank account? Because it backs up what I do. I talk about taking money little and often, farming money. Case in point.
Well, we're waiting.
So, I set out a little challenge to myself beginning this year, and it's fully documented with the guys in the squad. They've watched it grow right the way through. This started with 200 quid. We reset it in April because my tax year goes April to April. But it started in January, as it says there. And the goal was to do 10,000. We smashed that. So I've moved it up to 50. 15 rather. I've smashed that. We're now just going into global. So I'm not going to be updating this anymore. I'm going to be doing it through this, which is called the full Vanguard. All right. And this will actually show you where my trading funds go and how I split it up. Now, at the moment, I'm aiming at 130,000K, of which, if I just pull that across, you'll see we are almost on the money. Okay. How is it built? Little and often is how it's built. And just to back that up, give me a second and I will pull in, or at least I will do. Bear with me. I'll just pause the camera while I log into the Vanguard. Okay, guys, there we are. Back. Okay, so we're logged in. So we're at 129,764 on the portfolio. And as you can see, its equity curve is moving up quite well. Now, these investments don't do that well all the time. Sometimes they have a bit of a hard time with things. As you can see, there's red marks. But it's a long-term thing, and you leave them where they are. But where I want to show you what's going on, and just to kind of show you the portfolio, which is the holdings, there's that 10 grand account that we turned into 15. It's now at 17.8. That started with 200 quid in January. Okay. And then we're building it up. So I'm going to continue these. But look at the transactions. Let me just drop this back. So the last 20 odd. You'll see they're not massive. It's a fiver, 100 quid, fiver, couple of 100 quid, 117. What they are is where you see me build up a small account. It doesn't matter if it's prop, doesn't matter if it's a small black bull, which I'm going to touch on in just a second. You get it build up, and you might even just be taking 30 quid out. You get 30 quid out of it, and then I put it in here. And I do it over and over and over and over and over. And because I'm just constantly pushing it forward, that's the result. And the guys saw me build that over 100,000 over the course of the last 3.5, 4 years. You know, I'm getting roughly around 20 to 30,000 pound a year into it.
I'd buy that for $1.
Tell me that's not wrong. You know, the problem with this industry is everybody wants to turn tiny money into massive money overnight. Well, in that case, we are bringing back Knobhead of the Week because it's fucking impossible. All right? You just can't do it. But you can turn little money into bigger money, and then that bigger money into some more bigger money, and then that bigger money into some more bigger money. And this is where I get the flack all the time. It can't be done. It can't be done. Well, I've just shown you it can be done. And I've done this over the last 4 years. Right? And actually, I've done it over a lot longer than that because I started 6 years ago. But I started that Vanguard, like, see, over 4 years, just going, do. Right? And doing it constantly. 1, 2 trades a day. Constantly moving up and banking the money as I need it. Now, if I need £100 to live a week, and I do 125, I keep the 100 and the 25 goes in there. Keep my wages separate. This is how I do things over and over. What you're actually complaining about, it's not that you're seeing me do it and you think it can't be done. It's because you can't do it.
Oh, here we go. No.
And because you can't do it, nobody can do it. Well, I can't do the splits.
What?
But I bet you if I started and I constantly did little bits every single day, eventually I'll be able to do the splits. But it would take a long time and a lot of pain and a lot of trial and error, but I will get there. And why? Discipline and patience. You haven't got it. And why? One word. Greed.
It's a tiny piece of paper. Okay, that's all it is. Tiny piece of paper.
Greed is the single most destroyer of accounts. And I see it over and over. And I tell guys off and they don't like it, because I tell them, if you're trading before sort of 10 o'clock on a Monday morning, trying to take a Monday morning open on, you're a clown. Absolute clown. Because it is one of the most dangerous times to trade. So you put yourself in freight train. And the worst time of the week, the worst time, unless it's sort of something like non-farm payroll where it's vaguely predictable, is Friday afternoon. You're trading after 1 o'clock on a Friday afternoon, you're a clown. Period.
Jesus Christ, dude.
And the amount of people that I've spoke to, they go at it and they go at it each time. We look at their stats and every single time, they're wrecked on a Monday morning, they're wrecked on a Friday afternoon. But you know what? They still do it and then complain about it. Idiot. That's all I can say. So, what about if you were trading just a micro account? Is it worth it? Yeah. Now, we've been pissing about and I'm going to start actually today. I've already done it, got it up to some money and it's in here now. But I'm going to do this for little Maxwell because I want him to move forward. And I know he's sort of reevaluating what he's doing with it and one thing and another this week. So I'm going to do it with him. I want to walk every day with him. All right? And I want the group to walk every day with it. Why? Because it's a way forward. Now, case in point, flick this back. We'll show you. Just give us a sec. So we're not going to do this one anymore because that's finished. So that one's going to go away. So we're going to go to a goal tracker. I've already been in it this morning because we're starting. So we're starting today, 9th of August. We're going to start it with 15 quid. Ludicrously small amount of money. And we're going to get it up to 100. It's not as difficult as it seems. And why is that? Because you've only got to compound it by 2% a day. And it won't take long. Now, on this, you might have seen this before because I have done it before and it only took me a little while to get it up to 100 quid. It was running off the back of when I did the prop. And again, that was a thing because I did 2 props this month, or last month rather, in July, where one I took all month and I passed it. And then I did one in 24 hours and I passed it. And it's, if you go through the videos, you'll see them. I was really proud of it. All right. Sometimes, and what I said in those videos was certainly the 24-hour one. That was horrendous. It was very stressful. I didn't like doing it. But I got to the end result. And one of the first questions that I got was, well, should we go at it like a machine gun, then slow down? Fuck no. Go at it patiently, because all you do is teach yourself a bad habit. And that bad habit will then manifest itself in the chart. And I know most people won't understand this, and quite frankly, they'll never get it anyway, so there's no point trying to explain it. Trading is all about discipline and steady growth. Now, there we go. 30p on 15 is 4.8% growth. Okay? And if you give me a second, I'll kind of show it to you. That is there. All right. Flick that open. Drop 15 quid in. There's your 72p. And you can trade Bitcoin every day and you will do it. Very, very simple. Do I need to do anything more? No, I don't. I can, if I wish, go in and sort of round that up to say £1.
Isn't that logical?
But I can look at other elements, you know, just have a look. So I like Bollinger Bands. So we'll drop a Bollinger Band on. What's that Bollinger Band telling me? Well, in 5 minutes, it doesn't tell me jack all, but let's have a look at 50 on an hour. Well, the hour's telling me that's pushing up. It's also running into this level here. If I only want 28p, can I do it? Probably. So buy it. Right, there we go. Move that onto there, 28p. Right, so as soon as that hits 28p, it'll shut that system off. Just move that away, it's minus 22. It's not simple. Drop down onto 5 minutes so I can see where it's going. All I've got to do is get it into that level. Is everything in my favour? Well, pretty much. Above the moving average. This is gone neutral, so there's limited strength, so that is probably about as far as it'll go. What does the 15 minutes say? 15 minutes saying the same. It's still confirming the strength to the upper side. So that level, again, is as far as I want it to go. Take it to the hourly. Well, again, it's flaring out, telling you the strength to the upper side, but it is weakening on the lower time frames. So I've got to be a bit careful. Take it out to a 4 hour so I can see what's going on here. Well, again, there is strength losing inside the Bollinger Band. I can see that because this is collapsed, but there's still movement to the upper side. It's pulling against what's called a classic Kylie, which is here. So there's the bottom, there's the top. It's still inside it. It's done it again off this one, which is again another classic Kylie. It's come down onto the 50%. It has retraced the 50%. Failed to close below it, therefore it'll go back to where it came from, which is this 100%. What's in its path? This level. Therefore, that's a good area to trade at. Take it back to 15 minutes. And then what we'll see is that trade play out in front of us. This is basic analysis, guys. You look at various different elements to see what's going on. And that's it. Away you go. Right, there we go. Hit the target. Job's done. Right? No profit. One thing and another. Take that back down to here so we can see what's going on. It actually did better. It actually had that much of a push through. We got a bit of positive slippage. So 117 on the day. Right. Okay. Go back to this. Drop 117 into there. I definitely would not want to be going back to market. So that's 2 trades well in excess of where I needed to be. Why would I possibly go back to market? I wouldn't. And that was a trade done straight in front of you with very basic analysis, but based on a realistic target and expectation. Wasn't greed, wasn't anything. Okay, I had been looking at it earlier on this morning, so I already knew what the trend and everything was. But it just goes to show that if I now go back to market, as I was talking you through that, I kept telling you the strength is running out of it. The strength is running out of it. Well, if that's the case, it now becomes dangerous. And if it becomes dangerous, shouldn't I just leave it alone? Words to think about. Anyway, odd Saturday morning, this one. It's no secret that sometimes people do struggle. I'm not one of these that will come on and be singing and dancing and be a sort of dancing monkey for you. I generally won't. You'll never see this like as a glossy sort of video where you got a wonderful backdrop and everything's cinematic and all of that. I'm not Steven Spielberg. I'm a trader. And I can only show you how to trade. That's it. You know, have I got time for freeloaders and people who kick it into me? No, I don't. That's where the group came from, so I could look after them. You know, the group is moving to a 1 tier. So everybody is the same inside the Discord. You know, remember, I don't own the YouTube membership. I really don't. It's paid a commission to do it. But I do own the Discord, so I can control who goes in there. And if you're a dickhead, before you come in, you'll definitely be a dickhead when you do come in. And if I've seen it, I'll just kick you out. And I won't lose a second's sleep on it. So if you've been a moron having a go at me and then decide to come into the group to see if you're getting a free ride, you're in for a big shock. Because as soon as I recognise who you are, you're gone. Right? Because you only ever crossed me once. And why? Because I'm not here to be kicked in the teeth. But I am here to help you if you're willing to let that help come in. So, might sound as a stark warning, but if you're a freeloader and you've got that attitude, don't bother talking to me because I've got no time for you. But if you're looking for some guidance and if you can't sort of afford a big account and one thing and another, I'll still have time for you and I'll still talk to you. Because sometimes 15 quid can go a long way to change somebody's life if they're willing to put the time in. And I don't mean do it in a week. You need to be putting in years because this is a lifetime job. It's a professional career for life, not fast money. And that's why this job becomes really difficult. Too many people look for fast money and the easy way out. Well, tell that to an airline pilot. There's no easy way out. You've got to do the job right. Even if you're a plumber, you've got to do the job right or you'll wreck the house. Something for you to think about. For those who stayed to the end, I genuinely thank you. For those who are just looking for guidance, I'll always help you. And for those who are looking for a free ride, see you all in the next one.